Hi Cambridge class, and welcome to our third lesson this week on negative numbers, and today we're going to focus on calculating with negative numbers. To warm your brains up, first of all, identify which numbers will go in the boxes and pause the video while you have a think. So I can see on a scale that the numbers are going up in ones. 0 add 1 is 1, add 1 is 2, add 1 is 3, so this is going to be 3. So they're going forwards in ones, and these are going to be going backwards in ones from 0. 0 take away 1 is negative 1, take away 1 is negative 2, take away 1 is negative 3, take away 1 is negative 4. Here's another one for you to have a go at, so pause the video while you have a think about the numbers that are missing. So I know from 0 to 5 that they're going up in 5s, so 0 add 5 is 5, 5 add 5 is 10, add 5 is 15, add 5 is 20, add 5 is 25. Then going backwards in 5s from 0, 0 take away 5 is negative 5, take away 5 is negative 10, take away 5 is negative 15, take away 5 is negative 20. Well done if you got those right. Whitney and Ron are playing a game. So Ron is currently at negative 4, Whitney is currently on the number 2. Ron moves forward 5 spaces. What number is his counter on now? So if he's going forwards, got to jump 5 spaces. So have a think about what number he will be on. So negative 4, add 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the number 1. Whitney moves back 7 spaces. What number is her counter on now? So she's moving backwards, she's going to get smaller. 7 jumps. Have a think about what number she's on now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So she's on the negative 5. So what you've actually done here, Ron moves forward 5 spaces from negative 4. You have done negative 4 plus 5 equals 1. And here, so she was on the number 2 and she's moved back 7 spaces. It's 2 take away 7 equals negative 5. Some more calculations for you to do. Start at the number 3, count back 5. What number do you reach? So we're going to start at 3 and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 jumps, so it's negative 2. What is the calculation that you've just done there? Write it down while you pause the video. So we've started at 3 and we've counted back 5. So 3 take away 5 equals negative 2. Here's another one. Start at 4, count back 8. What number do you reach? And can you write down the calculation? Pause the video while you do this. So you need to do 8 jumps backwards from 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Landed on negative 4. So my calculation is 4 take away 8 equals negative 4. Now try this one. Pause the video while you work out what the answer is and what the calculation will be. Start at 9, count back 12. I'm going to do it a little bit quicker this time. If I count back 9, I'm going to get to 0. I've got to think, I've counted back 9, so I've taken away 9, but I want to take away 3 more so that I've counted back 12 altogether. So if I take 3 more away from 0, I'm going to get to negative 3. So I've started at 9, I've taken away 12, and I've got in the end negative 3. So 9 take away 9 is 0, take away 3 more is -3. Now try and do this without looking at the number line and see if you get it right. Pause the video while you write down the whole calculation. So I start at 5 and I count back 10. I've got to take away 5 to get to 0, then take away another 5 to take away 10. Or I can just take away 10 jumps and I'll get back to -5 in the end. My calculation is 5 take away 10 equals -5. Here's another one without the number line. Pause the video while you try and work out the whole calculation and the answer. So I'm going to start at -1. I've got to count on 4. So I'm going to add on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My answer will be 3. What I could do is think, I'm going to add 1 on to get to 0. How many more do I need to add so that I've added 4 on altogether? I need to add on 3 more. So it's -1 add 4 equals 3. This time start at -2 and count on 5. Write down the whole calculation and pause the video while you do this. So here's my number line. I'm going to start at -2, count on 5. I could just do 5 jumps and I get to the number 3. Or I can think, if I add on 2, I get to 0. I need to add on 3 more so that I've added on 5 altogether. And my calculation is -2 add 5 equals 3. Use the number line to find the difference between the numbers. Complete the sentences. So to find the difference, you've got to work out how much is between two numbers. So the difference between 0 and 2 is 2, because there's 2 jumps between 0 and 2. What's the difference between 1 and 4? How many jumps? 1, 2, 3. The difference between 1 and 4 is 3. 1 add 3 equals 4. What is the difference between 3 and 5? Difference between 3 and 5. What do you add to 3 to get to 5? How many jumps are there between 3 and 5? You're right, the answer is 2. What is the difference between -3 and 5? So this time, -3 is here, 5 is here. How many jumps, what do you have to add to -3 to get to 5? You could just count the jumps, or you could jump up to 0 and then jump up to 5. So to get to from -3 to 0, I've added on 3, so 3 jumps. And then to go from 0 to 5, I add on 5, it's 5 jumps. So altogether, it's 8 jumps. What's the difference between -1 and 1? So -1 is here and 1 is over here. What do you add to -1 to get to 1? -1 add 2 equals 1. And you add 1 on to get to 0 and then 1 more to get to the number 1. The difference between -5 and 5. So -5 and 5. What do you add to -5 to get to 5? You could do a big jump to 0. So what do you add to -5 to get to 0? And then what do you add to 0 to get to 5? If you're not confident, then just add the jumps. How many jumps is it to get to 5? Okay, so -5 add 5 makes 0, add 5 makes 5. So the answer is 10. The temperature on Monday was 4 degrees Celsius. That night the temperature fell by 7 degrees. What was the temperature at night? Think about what fell means. Do you add it on or do you take it away? So if it fell, it gets less, it gets lower. So you've got to take it away. So you're doing 4 degrees, take away 7 degrees to get your answer. What was the temperature on Monday night? What you could do is take a jump to 0, see what you've added on so far, and then take away the rest. So 4 take away 7 is -3 degrees Celsius. On Tuesday, the temperature was 13 degrees. By how many degrees did the temperature rise from Monday night to Tuesday? So on Monday night it was -3. On Tuesday it was 13 degrees. By how many degrees did the temperature rise from Monday night to Tuesday? Which means what do you add to -3 to get to 13? What's the difference between -3 and 13? Pause the video while you have a think. So what I can do is think, what do I add to -3 to get 0? I add on 3. What do I add on to 0 to get to 13? I add on 13. So 3 add 13. The temperature rose by 16 degrees from Monday night to Tuesday night. Next one, the bar chart shows average temperatures for each month at the North Pole. So January was -24, that was the average temperature in January, -19 degrees in February, -12 in March, -1 in April, 9 degrees in May, 15 degrees in June, 16 degrees in July, 13 degrees in August, 6 degrees in September, -5 degrees in October, -18 degrees in November, -22 degrees in December. And here are some questions to work out. What I'm going to do is split the screen so you can see both. Pause the video and have a go at working out the answers to each of those questions. So it says, on average, these show average temperatures, which month is the hottest? Which has got the highest positive temperature? So that is 16 degrees, which is July. So don't write 16 degrees if it says which month. So July, the capital J. On average, which month is the coldest? So which has got the lowest temperature? The negative number furthest away from 0, and it's -24, but it says which month? So January is the coldest month. What is the difference in temperature between the hottest and coldest months? So -24 to 16 degrees. So -24 add what equals 16 degrees. If you haven't done this right, or you don't think you've done it right, in a minute pause the video, perhaps draw yourself a number line, put -24 over here and put 16 over here, and work out how much there is between -24 and 16. So what you could do is jump to 0. What do you add to -24 to get to 0? And then what do you add to 0 to get to 16? And if you add them two numbers together, you'll know the difference. So -24 add 24 makes 0. 0 add 16 makes 16. So if I add 24 and 16 together, the difference between the hottest and coldest months is 40 degrees. By how many degrees does the temperature rise between March and August? So here is March and here is August. By how many degrees does the temperature rise between March and August? So March is 12 degrees and August is 13 degrees. That means what is added to negative 12 to get to 13? So what you could do again is get a number line, put negative 12 on one side and put 13 on the other. And then we could jump up to 0. What do you add to negative 12 to get to 0 first of all? Then what do you add to 0 to get to 13? And if you add them together, you know what you've added to negative 12 to get to 13. So negative 12 add 12 is 0 and 0 add 13 is 13. So altogether I've added on 25 degrees. The temperature rises 25 degrees between March and August. The next one, by how many degrees does the temperature fall between June and November? So I'm going to circle June, which is 15 degrees, and I'm going to circle November, which is negative 18 degrees. How much has it fallen from 15 down to negative 18? So how much is there between 15 and negative 18? You could draw yourself a number line again. So negative 18 is going to go on this side, and 15 is going to go on this side. You could put 0 here, and then think, what do you add to negative 18 to get to 15 degrees? So what do you add to get to negative 18 to 0, and then from 0 to 15 altogether will be your answer. So negative 18 add 18 makes 0. 0 add 15 makes 15. So your answer is 18 plus 15. 33 degrees it falls from June to November. How many months of the year is the temperature below freezing? So if it goes below 0, we know it's going to be below freezing. So how many months of the year have we got a negative temperature? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 months. In which months does the average temperature drop below freezing? This was how many months is it below freezing. This one is in which months does the temperature drop below freezing. So it's January, February, March, April, October, November and December. Well done if you got that right. And this is your last challenge of the day. The difference between 12 degrees and negative 4 degrees is 8 degrees Celsius. Is that true or false? Pause the video and write down a really clear explanation. So it is of course false. To prove it, I could draw myself a number line. I could write negative 4 over here and 8 over here to work out the 12 here, sorry. So the difference between negative 4 and 12 degrees, I've got to prove that it's not 8. I could jump up to 0 and then jump up to 12. So negative 4 add 4 makes 0. 0 add 12 is 12. So the difference between negative 4 and 12 is actually 16 degrees. 12 plus 4 is 16. So you could say it's false because the difference between negative 4 and 12 is actually 16 degrees Celsius. Well done, and we will see you tomorrow for the final negative numbers lesson.